Watchmen Chapter 1, the brand new DC anime film, and it's also the beginning of a two-part adaptation for what a lot of comic fans believe to be the greatest graphic novel ever made. And the thing is about the original graphic novel is that for a lot of people, it's the Dune of superhero storytelling in the comic book medium. To the point that people don't want a live action movie or an animated movie or a HBO TV show or a prequel or sequel comic. That like they just say that the book, the graphic novel should just be it. That's it. That should just stay as it is. No more, no extended media. Maybe some action figures, but that's it. That's it. But my response to that is there's going to be a lot of people who are going to experience, who would love the Watchmen story, but isn't going to pick up the graphic novel. And are we going to boycott those people just because it's the author's intent, or that's how you personally feel, or whatever, whatever the reason is? I say no. I always say, look, there's been thousands of versions of Shakespeare plays. Let Watchmen be the Shakespeare play of comic book history. Let's just do that. It's a story that gets adapted and retold in a media every X amount of years. And the thing is about this version of the movie, this version of the graphic novel, it's been a while since I read the graphic novel. I mean, honestly, I basically cheat. Anytime I feel like experiencing the Watchmen story, I won't lie, I cheat. I just watch the movie. I just watch the Zack Snyder film. I just do that. But here's the thing. Watching the first half of this retelling of the Watchmen story, it is like, if you know the story, you know the beats. And if it feels too, like, if you feel it's a little bit been there, done that, if you just, all you know from Watchmen, like, with the graphic novel, but you've seen the live action film, for you, while watching this version of Watchmen, I feel that you're going to feel a little bit been there, done that. That just it being animated and moving some things around or adding things like the Black Freighter, which I will say this. I get it, it's in the graphic novel, but the Black Freighter does not work in a more filmmaking style storytelling. It just does not work because it takes any sort of momentum to the main story, which is all surrounding the murder, well, at this point, the murder of the comedian, of Rorschach's bloody investigation of him trying to find out who killed the comedian, because it's around that. If you don't know the story is, the comedian died in New York. Rorschach, who's a vigilante, is investigating it. He believes that it's all the murder is hunting down costume heroes, and he's going to every single person of the old Minutemen, who were a bunch of basically the Justice League of the Watchmen universe. He goes to all his old buddies, telling them to watch their back, or investigating them and see if in case it's one of them. And we, by doing that, we get all their other stories. We get the relationship between Silver Spectre and Night Owl, the distance or the relationship that Dr. Manhattan has between him and humanity, because he's so distant. He's so hollow, and you feel like he doesn't really feel anything, and you can kind of tell he doesn't feel anything anymore, because all he sees is atoms or molecules. He sees particles and that. He doesn't see people anymore, and he's able to see time in a different point of view. He's able to see time in past, present, and future. So for him, it's all happening at the same time. There's nothing to attach to or be exciting anymore. He didn't, to quote the comedian, He hasn't cared about humanity a very long time. Um, you got that story going on. Meanwhile, you're having this investigating story with the comedian, and it it follows the beats, and if you're I will say once again, if you're a person who's like, give me something new, it ain't giving you anything new. It just it now just looks like the graphic novel with the art style, and they change like the flashbacks to different points to say that it's all at the funeral. That's pretty much it. Now, the performances here, like, they basically are all voice actors here. They, the only recognizable, two, but the only recognizable name I think a lot of people will know is Katie Sackhoff, who's voicing Silk Spectre. That's the only recognizable name. Bo Burnham is voicing Silk Spectre. That's it. Yeah, sure you got Troy Baker, but nobody unless you know voice actors and video games and all the kind of stuff, you don't know that you wouldn't recognize. Oh, look, it's the original Troy, the original Joel from Last of Us is playing Ozymandias. You wouldn't know. But here's the thing: all the voice acting does really well. I mean, the comedian feels the most like the comedian's meant to be a tough guy. He's a tough dude. In these flashbacks, as I mentioned, we find out what kind of man the comedian was, and he's a bit of a despicable human being. Like, he's, in this film, in this story, he kills pregnant women. He has joy of burning people alive with a flamethrower when he's in Vietnam. He is attacking protesters, and his whole point of view is life's a joke in his eyes, and he's just laughing at it and reflecting it, in the most violent, brutal way. And of course, all the shit that happened with the original Silk Spectre. It's like, thank God they kind of went for the movie route, which is it was attempted, not full on, not like. When that thing happened, I was like, I'm wondering how it's going to go. I couldn't help. I was wondering how it's going to go, there's a little bit of changes here, like with the scene where Dr. Manhattan is accused of giving the people he knew since the 50s cancer by just being next to them, him being full of radiation and all that, and having all these reporters saying, "Hey, what's going on, Dr. Manhattan? This and this." In the book and in the live action film, it feels very claustrophobic with all those reporters surrounding him, and when he shouts, "Leave me alone!" and vanishes into thin air, you feel the claustrophobic of it. It makes sense why he would be scream out those three words as much. But yeah, I have a feeling where they would do the cut point, where they would cut part 1, part 2. I mean, technically it's 12 issues, it's 12 chapters, so you easily do part 1, chapter 1 to 6 in part 1, and do 7 to 12 in part 2. I mean, it'll be interesting. Do we get the giant squid? I think we're going to get the giant squid, people. I think we do. But yeah, I think it's very faithful. It's essentially it's the Watchmen story. That's basically the end of the day. It's a retelling of the Watchmen story. If you're one of the complaints is that, hey, with the live action film is everyone's superhuman, everyone's cool. No one's cool in this. It is true. Watchmen isn't meant to be. No one's meant to be cool in this. When there's a fight scene happening, it's not meant to be like, oh my god, look how bad. It's like, oh, it's looking how ridiculous it would be, because at the time it was like the closest thing to be known to be. This is what superheroes would be like in the real world. Of course, now we have like Kick-Ass and The Boys that basically explore those things a little bit more. The concept even a little bit more now. I mean, Kick-Ass in a comedic sense, um, The Boys in a more satire sense. But yeah, I mean, did I enjoy it? Yeah. Did I wish the blackface stuff got cut out? Yes. But out, outside of it, thumbs up. I think it's a decent adaptation of it.